back to Engaged and Divorced,
the podcast where I wear the rings.
and I'm trying to figure out these damn things. Today we have a special request episode. We love when you guys send us your suggestions, by the way. And so we're always so excited when you have topic recommendations for us. We need the topic recommendations.
We do. Please tell us. What do you want us to talk about?
What do you want us to talk about? Do you enjoy the morning episodes or the nighttime ones? Because our last episode was pretty funny. Mm-hmm. We're now in the daytime again, so our energy is back to being lower.
Yeah. So let us know if you want more night episodes.
Yeah.
Because it seemed to work out pretty well, and I think we were pretty funny, so.
Yeah, I think we were hilarious.
Yeah, I really thought we were talking about the Twilight movie the whole time. Silly me.
You silly Willy. So, should I just go ahead and read what the question is?
Yeah,
just jumping right in.
Today we're talking about friendships because I feel like we haven't really touched on those. We've mostly been talking about relationships and dating, but obviously everybody has friends that come and go. Some are silver and the others are gold. Is that how the song goes?
Make new friends,
but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. Wait, does that mean like
a circle is round?
Oh wait, you. I'll start over. Make new friends. So we keep going. Does that mean like some are really good and others are like eh?
I think it means the amount of time you've known them.
Oh, okay.
Some are silver and some are gold. I would say like your friends that you've known for a long time are gold.
That makes sense.
That's how I translate it anyways.
I always thought it was just like some are good and others aren't not.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You know what's really cool about you, Kylie? You've had one of your best friends. You've had that same best friend since you were 3.
Mm-hmm. 2 of my best friends I've had for.
Oh, yeah. True.
But the other one I didn't like until I was like 10. So we'll get there.
And then... yeah, for me, my closest friends are ones I met in high school, so I've been friends with them for a long time too.
That is nice.
So, but today, this is the topic we have is friendship breakups, because oftentimes we talk about regular breakups, but not many people talk about friendship breakups and just how painful those can be. In my opinion, they're probably more painful than an actual like romantic breakup because you've known the person longer, and it really depends on your history too, I feel like. Mm-hmm. So the question today is, I would love to hear if either of you had to deal with a toxic friend. Were they jealous of you, not happy for your success, competitive, or possessive? I'd have to imagine you've run into this. If so, how did you go about ending the friendship? I'm sure it was painful no matter how it happened. Have you had friendships that were just for a season? Our society normalizes romantic relationships ending, but friendships are meant to last forever. I've been going through an insanely painful breakup, and without sounding dramatic, that friend has been sort of cyberbullying me, posting hurtful things either about me without saying my name or subtweet messages meant for me. So passive aggressiveness. I've just been having a hard time coping with it, and I have sought out both therapy and other resources to validate that I'm not alone in what's happening.
That's horrible. First of all, so sorry you're going through that.
Yeah.
That really does suck when you've like spent so much time getting to know somebody and like being best friends and then they just turn on you like that. Mm-hmm. Definitely happened to me, so I get it. And I don't think you're alone at all. I think a lot of people go through that. So toxic people happens, unfortunately.
Yeah. I actually, right before we recorded, I was curious and I looked up some statistics. And it said that research found that up to 70% of close friendships and 52% of our social networks dissolve after 7 years. Yeah. So it's extremely normal. Half of our friendships, more than half of our friendships, are going to dissolve after a certain amount of time.
You can usually tell who's going to stick around and who's not. I feel like there's some that you're like, well, we probably won't be friends forever. But then there's other people that you're like, oh, yeah. We're in it through the thick and thin. So,
yeah, I feel like, too, with friendships, I feel like a lot of the things that we value in romantic relationships, that's what we value in our friendships.
That's true.
You know, like, are they kind? Are they a good listener?
Yeah.
Do they work through conflict well? You know, all the things that you would go through in a normal romantic relationship. You're going to go through those things in your friendships, and probably to a higher scale because of, like, depending on how long you've been friends and what you've been through together. So
Yeah.
I haven't had like a ton of experience in this specifically. I mean, I've definitely like lost contact with friends through the years, but there's nothing that really sticks out to me as like a super painful friend breakup. I do have to say that I really have made mistakes through the years and like ruined one of my friendships with somebody by posting passive aggressive things on Twitter, and she saw it. So like I was on the other end of that, and I did that, and then I felt like so terrible about it forever. But you live, you learn, I guess. I think a lot of people don't know how to communicate that they're actually feeling like upset or annoyed or not valued enough or whatever. And so instead of actually like talking it through, they find ways to make you feel bad about it, or like passively aggressively come after you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like it's really hard to have those conversations sometimes of like, this isn't working for me in this relationship.
Yeah.
Or this friendship.
I think most of the time you just ghost each other.
Yeah.
Or you just kind of let it go. Mm-hmm. Which that can be painful too, because then you feel like you're not going to be able to just like rekindle and just be like, hey, how's it going? We haven't talked in a while. Because like I've tried that sometimes and it just like there's no connection anymore. It's just kind of done.
Yeah.
And so that I think that honestly can hurt more sometimes, is just when it like fades away slowly and then you just like don't talk anymore, you know, because then there's like no closure on it. And I feel like that's happened to me a lot in life.
Yeah.
A lot. So
yeah. Or you'll have those like friendships that you had like when you were younger and they were so close and so deep. And then you try to kind of like rekindle it as an adult. And it's like, we're just not, we don't see eye to eye anymore. But that's like totally normal because we grow and we change and we evolve.
Right.
So like the friends that we have from 20 years ago are not going to probably be the same friends we have today. Or if they are, that a friendship has had to evolve to meet that level.
yeah, because if we think about it, we don't see that person as who they are now. We're seeing them as how they were when we were friends with them. So like they've changed so much. Like we're changing daily, right? But the only version of them that we see is the one that we knew, and that's just not them anymore. So then when we try to like talk to them again, it just doesn't go well. It doesn't feel like how it used to. But that's normal. That's part of growing. It just really sucks, especially when you're really close to somebody, and then it's just like you slowly stop talking, and then sometimes it does end in drama. Other times it's just not. It just happens.
Right. And I think as we get older, we're like, I don't have time for this bullshit.
Yeah.
When friends do things like what this person mentioned to us,
Right.
like the cyberbullying and all that, like that's just like unacceptable behavior and really, really childish.
That is very childish.
Would not want to be friends with somebody like that anyway. So it, in some ways, it's kind of your gain because they revealed their true colors. I know that doesn't take away the pain or the hurt of it, but if you look at it that way, as like, at least they showed themselves now as opposed to later, it kind of helps mitigate some of that pain. I don't know. It's tough no matter what, for sure. But do you want to share some of your experiences, Kylie, since you've had more experience with this specific topic?
Yeah. I honestly feel like I just had a hard time finding friends that like stuck around until college, honestly. Like I have my two best friends I've known forever, but like besides that, it was really hard for me because like in elementary school, all my friends moved away. Like anyone I got close to moved, and I'd be like, come on. So that happened to me like maybe 15 times. And so I was just like, I'm never going to have friends who just like I can keep around. And I've always been the type that like has multiple groups of friends, but like I like get really close to people. Like I like to like latch onto them and get to know them completely. And so it was a hard learning experience, but like I've come to terms with the fact that some people are just going to be like acquaintances, and that's okay. You're not going to be best friends. And that's a whole other topic, but like I've realized that it's okay if you're not like super deep with them, or if you're not like super, super close, like you can be acquaintances. I always think of the people that I like had classes with in high school and college, and like I'm always like, wow, we had fun in that class, but we never talked after that. But those were good memories. So
yeah, totally.
I think that was a lot of like middle school for me, because it was I had a birthday party with 15 friends, so I had a lot of friends. Do I talk to any of them? I talked to like 4.
That's pretty good, I feel like.
But one of them's our cousin, so I'm like maybe 3. And so I was always the type that was an includer. Like, I love to include everybody. And so I'd always have a billion friends. So I've gone through a lot of the, I don't know if people are jealous or if they're just like not nice, but I've gone through a lot of them just like making things up about me and then deciding one day that like I'm not their friend anymore. So I've definitely had my fair share of like getting hurt like that randomly when I like was a good friend to them and I never did anything wrong. I would cry to mom all the time, or I would just walk in the room and she'd be like, "What's wrong?" And then I'd be like,
She'd be like, "Come here."
Yeah, I had a lot of those moments where I was just like, they don't want to be my friend. And so, but I feel like that's a lot of what middle school is. And it's a lot of like, whatever, you're not cool enough. Because I did it to people. Unfortunately, I did. So.
Yep. Shout out to all my middle school bullies that are listening to this podcast. They're always messaging me and stuff on social media. It's funny.
Now they like you now.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
It feels so real and painful when you're in middle school, and then you look back as an adult and you're like, some of that stuff was really really stupid.
I know. It makes me sad. Like, I just want to sit with that girl and be like, you're gonna find better.
Yeah. It's all gonna be okay.
This is not your life forever. Because it's just like in middle school, that's all you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally get Eden saying she doesn't want to go.
Who would? And Eden keeps hearing all the horror stories about middle school. She's like, I'm good.
Right. The biggest thing that sticks out from like that time of my life was I had a friend who would borrow my clothes and just never give them back. And I'm like, why did I let her do this? Never. Like,
would you see her wearing them again later?
Yeah, like she would come over and she would borrow my jacket. And then I would see her wearing it. I'd be like, oh, that's my jacket. Can I have it back? And she'd be like, yeah, I'll give it to you at seventh period. I don't know. And then I'd be like, okay. And then it would disappear. And I would never see it again. So anyway, that just came to mind. But yeah, I also had some like good friends at that point too. And I was like, oh man, we're going to be BFFs forever. But of course you outgrow each other and like we still like each other's things on social media. That's a good like, you know, coming apart from each other because you still respect each other. Yeah. There's no like drama. I would say like I had two pretty big instances in high school because I, again, loved my different groups of people and I got close to people really fast and I was like willing to accept anybody. And so I didn't always know what I deserved back then. So I had a friend my freshman year of high school who was just she was a pathological liar. And this is not the one that we were talking about earlier. Oh. This is a different one.
Wow, this is a different You really have had a lot of experience.
Yeah. This girl was, so she was like 2 years older than me because she was held back like 2 times, which is fine. She was just very dysfunctional. And so I was just kind of like here for the ride. I was like, I got you. We're friends. It's going to be great. She just would lie about the randomest things. Like, of course, she lied about like being pregnant, which don't ever do.
Why do girls lie about that? That was like another thing that I had to deal with in middle school and high school was girls lying about being pregnant. There was one girl in the youth group who like literally kept lying that she was pregnant. She would have already had like 10 kids because she was like pregnant like the whole time in middle school.
It's like, what happened to the kids, huh?
I don't get it.
So she was obsessed with boys. Like I was really into boys too, but like by the time I got to high school, I was kind of like grown up a little bit. In middle school, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a crush on them. In high school, I was more so just like, I want a boyfriend. I don't really want to just like, I don't know. But she had a new boyfriend like every day. It was that kind of situation. She was just like, because she started drama with everyone. And it looks like she's still doing that on Facebook. But anyway.
That's sad because, that was like learned behavior from her parents probably.
Right. And so I like did everything I could to just be a good friend to her. Like we really did have some fun times. I love friends that we can just kind of like be crazy together and it's fine. But then we got too close, I think. And then she would just lie about things. Like she said we were going to go to a One Direction concert and I was super excited because I was a huge One Direction fan. And then like a week before the concert, she said, my dad never got tickets. And I was like, you already said that we had like front row seats. Like, what?
What? So she lied about that?
Yeah.
That's a pretty jacked up thing to lie about.
I know. I was so excited.
Wow.
I was like, I get to see Harry Styles and Zayn Malik like right in front of me. Nope.
Oh my gosh.
So that was just the first instance where I was like, okay, maybe I need to like cut her off. I don't know exactly what happened. I think she she kept getting in fights. So I think she dropped out freshman year and then came back like a couple of years later. And then when she came back, she just like hated me for some reason. And like, I like tried to be nice to her and I was just like, hey, how's it going? I know we haven't talked in a while and everything. And she was just like, I'm fine. Anyway, she was like just making up rumors about me with my ex-boyfriend and saying I like cheated on him and all this. And so like people would randomly come up to me and be like, I heard what she said about you. Like, is it true? And I was just like, I never did anything to her. Like, what did I do wrong? So she was just kind of drama from the start. But that one really hurt because it was like my first like high school friend. Like, I don't know. I thought we would be closer than we were. But then I realized later on it was a really good thing that we went our separate ways.
Totally.
So now we can respect each other from afar. We don't have to be close friends. But during that time, I also met another friend and her and I were really close too. I don't want to go into like the heavy details, but basically like her mom was kind of an alcoholic. I don't know if I should say that on here. Maybe. But she was.
She had addiction issues.
She did. And so I would go to her house and she would just like drink with us. And we were like 15, 16. So...
did mom and dad know that you were drinking?
No, I don't think so.
Surprise.
Yeah. And so we would drink. I think we like smoked a couple times and I was like,
I remember picking you up once and you smelled like cigarettes.
Yeah, but I didn't smoke cigarettes. It was just like the house.
Yeah.
She didn't care. Like she didn't care what we did. And so obviously that rubbed off on my friend. There were a few times where I would stay at her house and we'd go to the mall the next day and her mom would drive us. And her mom was the worst driver I've ever seen. It was like, I really should not have been in a car with her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But yeah, we were really close for a while. I think it was like 2 years probably. And then when things really started heating up with like her family and she wanted to get away from her family for many reasons, we opened up our house to her and we let her move in with us. I don't know. I just kind of asked mom and dad and they were like, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, okay, that was easy enough. But our parents have always been that way. They're always very giving and they're like, they open their home to so many people.
We always had like somebody living with us growing up. There was always somebody who needed help who was living with us. So yeah.
Right.
They've always been very open to that. They're not anymore. They're like, nobody's welcome back here because they've been screwed over so many times.
Yeah.
But
they're phenomenal people for doing that because the people we had there a lot of times were like in really rough situations. Yeah. So anyway, she moved in and I think she only lived with us for a couple months. But sometimes we would have her like go with her parents on the weekends and then she'd come back. It was like divorce, I guess.
Yeah. You guys are like co-parents.
Yeah, but I thought it was so fun because I was like, oh my gosh, like my best friend lives with me. This is awesome. And it was all good, all fun and games until she lied to my parents about something. And like she lied about where she was, I think it was. And she was with a boy instead. And this was a boyfriend that was not good for her. And I told her so many times. So she didn't even tell me. She didn't even tell me what was going on. So she lied to me and lied to my parents. And when I found this out, I said, you're cut off. Like, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. And she was like, why? I was like, if you disrespect my family like that, no.
Dang, that's like really smart.
Yeah, no, at that
so
point,
young.
At that point, it was like junior year of high school. So I was just at the point where I was like, I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. Like, just get out.
Right. Especially when it's like, my parents were kind enough to open up their house to you.
Exactly.
And then you disrespect them in this way.
And mom and dad were hurt by it. And I was like, that really is not cool. Because I did everything for her. Like, we were always giving to her. We never did anything wrong to her once again. So I cut things off with her. She felt really bad. She would like apologize to me every day.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then she got to a point where she just decided to turn against me and joined in on the rumors. And I think it was senior year, actually. It was the end of junior year. She was also the one saying like, she was cheating on him with like 10 people, like just like saying these like dramatic things. Wow. And so then my ex-boyfriend believed it and he was like, I can't believe you cheated on me the whole time, and was like yelling at me. And I was like, whatever you want to believe, but like I didn't do anything. They made up other rumors too, but like it was just, I had 2 friends do that in like the same year, and at that point I was just like, I'm done. So senior year, I got closer to theater people and really just spent time with them because I knew that they don't really have drama besides like dating everyone. So senior year was really good because I found out like I need to stick to my true friends. I need to find the people who, you know, bring out the best in me and who I can just have fun with. Like, we're kids. We're not supposed to be like living a Lifetime movie every day. So
It shouldn't be that dramatic.
Right. So that's when I got closer to theater people, and I just kind of figured out there like my worth. And I mean, I had other instances too, but I just had a lot in high school where it was just like, this friend turned on you, this friend turned on you, this friend turned on you. And it was just like, come on. So then I stopped like having close relationships for a while. And then I was just like really praying for good friends in college, and I got that. So I did have a couple instances in college too, but
Yeah.
that's like the two biggest I can think of probably. I know that was a long story, but like kind of goes along with like finding your journey, because I feel like a lot of times we start here and we're trying to figure out like, who do we want in a friend? And then we go through situations and realize maybe that wasn't a good situation. So
Totally. It's always a learning curve. The more that, as you're talking just now, I could think of like specific examples for me actually when it came to friends. But I feel like the majority of like the painful hurts and issues that I've had with people have been like family members. I just, for some reason, that's a thing that's existed for me for a while.
yeah.
And I still to this day don't understand some of it.
Yeah.
But I did have a family member like tell me that jealousy was kind of rooted in some of our issues. That this family member was jealous of me and ended up apologizing, and we're good now. But that's just like one of several instances. I know you already know everything. There's like so much I cannot talk about on this podcast.
Right.
But yeah, that's been like the hardest part for me, is like with the family, you can't really separate from them.
Right. And you're trying to be kind to them back, like in return, but then you're not getting that back. And it's just like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. And I mean, I have had to like block people or cut people off for a time until like we can resolve it later. Sometimes it doesn't get resolved. I don't know. And then even on my ex-husband's like side of the family, not like directly his family, but then like other people that are related to the family members, there's been drama. It's just, it's a lot there.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I'm at this point now, and maybe it's like because I'm in my 30s. I don't know. I'm just like, be my friend or don't. I don't really care.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, I have like my ride or dies, if you will. Like my best friend I've had since I was 15.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just, I feel like the majority of my closest friends I've known for at least 10 years. And those are my people that I know are like going to be there no matter what. And sometimes I struggle with making new friends because I'm like,
it's
I'm
hard
good.
as an adult.
I already got my
God.
friends. Like, I'm good. I got all these great, wonderful friends. I don't need any more. Because you just don't want to deal with the potential drama of it all.
It's hard when you're older too. Because then like not everyone's in the same like path in life, and so it's hard to relate to people.
Yeah.
As an adult, it's just a lot harder to make friends. It's really sad.
It is hard. And then once like, for me, I was the first of any of my friends to have kids. Maybe there's like one other friend that had kids at the same time that I did, but I was so young that like the majority of my friends weren't even married yet.
Right.
And so like that was a whole dynamic shift too. You can't like hold conversations when you're a mom and you have like toddlers because they're crazy and running around, and you're like interrupted in conversation like every 5 seconds. It's like really tough to maintain friendships. So the friends that stick through those things too, you're like, I really appreciate you. Yeah, like that best friend that I just talked about, she doesn't have kids yet. And so like the fact that we were able to like stay best friends all these years while I was raising my kids, and now it's great because my kids will be able to like babysit her kids.
Yeah.
That's just like really special. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. I'm just talking so much. Sorry.
That's what I did too.
Like, yes, you are.
No, that's what I did. I was like, middle school, I was like 12. Like, you guys care. Oh.
I would just say, you know, as hard as it is, just eliminate those people completely and like move forward, move on.
Not worth it.
Because there's so many people that could make great friends for you, and there's no point to keep the ones that aren't. Truly, it's just, to me, it's like relationships like that are just a headache, and they're stressful and they're overwhelming, and they're so like, I wanted to say like insidious, but I don't know if that's the right word, but they like permeate your mind, like get into your like soul.
Yeah.
And then like you you start to question who you are and your worth and everything. And it's just not worth it. It's really stupid. And there's so many people who'd want to be your friend. I know the girl personally who sent me this question, like you specifically, there's so many people that would want to be your friend. Like, don't waste your time on this person anymore. Like, honestly, I would just, and I'd be honest. I'd communicate very clearly to this person. Doesn't sound like this person has been communicating to you, but I would just like be like, hey, listen, I can't do this anymore. Thanks for the memories we had, but I just need to move forward and move on, and then just like end things.
Yeah.
Completely.
If they're honestly spending so much time hating you, they're just insecure about themselves, and they'll eventually find something new to be insecure about. So,
yep, they're either jealous of something or insecure of something in themselves. And I think like those two things cause a lot of issues in relationships and cause friendships to end, is like the insecurity and the jealousy and the just trying to like one up the other. I've had relationships end because of that too. Like I got the lead, and I don't know if this happened to you because you were Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, but I got the lead in my senior musical, and like one of my friends stopped talking to me because they were jealous.
I had like 4 people block me. What did I do?
So that just goes to show you that
they are not your friends.
Jealousy is a bitch.
Yeah. But it's hurting them, not you. Like, it's just gonna hurt them. So I think that's honestly what has caused a lot of like my friendships to end. I put quotes over it because I don't know, like some of them didn't feel like real friends to me. It was just like, you're here. But I had a few instances in college because all of my really close friends are like more like quiet and like really nice to everybody and like really accepting and welcoming. And so we had people try to join our friend group. Like 2 specific people try to join our friend group at different times, and they were just like the opposite of them. And they were just very rude and negative and would walk all over them. And so when I stood up for them, they have obviously turned on me and then tried to get my friends to turn against me. They didn't, but because they thought that they could walk all over them. And I said, no, you can't. Like, I put them in their place.
I didn't realize like how like forward you are. I guess I never really saw that.
I just don't
side of you, but like this is cool that you like set your foot down.
Yeah, no, I get really protective over like my closest friends because, like I said, I don't want them to feel like they have to be a people pleaser to everybody, you know, just because they're so nice. And like, I love that about them. I love how accepting they are. But like, I was not putting up with it. I even told them, I'd be like, this person is not good for you. But if you decide to keep being friends, that's fine. When you are done, come back to me. But I can't like spend time with you guys. So even though it was hard in the moment because we weren't as close, like eventually when they realized that this person was crazy, then they came back. So I think that sometimes you have to also stand up for your friends and kind of like tell people if there's somebody in their life who's really toxic for them, cut them off.
Yeah, that's something I've had to deal with Eden already. Deal with Eden with her friends because girls are the worst and so dramatic, and like there's so much of that already happening where it's like, so and so said they're not my friend anymore. And like the other day, some girl told Eden's best friend that Eden doesn't want to be her friend anymore. So then Eden's best friend came to her and was like, why didn't you tell me yourself? And Eden was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, so and so said you don't want to be my best friend anymore. And so Eden, she was like, I was furious. I walked right up to her and was like, why did you say that to my best friend?
Aww.
And she was like, I didn't say it. And then like she was like denying it, and then like I guess the girl got crazy and started like attacking them and said she was gonna like kill them. Yeah, kids are wild these days, guys. Rein in your kids. Let's like, insane. Anyways, the girl apparently almost got expelled. I don't know. It was a whole thing, and I'm like, you guys are in 4th grade.
Yeah.
But I'm teaching Eden early on, like, stick up for your friends. Don't let people walk all over them either. And don't let people, like, treat your friends wrong.
Right.
Because there's so much of that.
That's good. It's good to learn that at a young age.
Yeah. And also, don't date people who treat your friends wrong. I wish that was advice I had gained.
Yeah, I've also done that.
Yeah.
Not a good sign.
Anyways, I know friendship breakups are similar to divorce. Like the pain is very similar. You know, losing somebody so close to you that you love.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you deserve to have fulfilling, wholesome, sweet, reciprocal relationships.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of cool that in life we get these people who may not be there forever, but who were there for a little bit. And you can just reflect on the memories you had. And I think that's a better outlook than be like, oh, I hate them. I can't believe I was ever friends with them. But to be like, wow, they were a really close friend of mine for some point, and I'm glad that we had those memories. I'm now going to let it go, and we don't need any further memories. Like, this is the end. So
yeah,
I think that's another good mindset to have, because then you're not holding a lot of grudges.
Resentment.
Yeah.
You can say, like, I learned a lot from that situation. Even if the relationship was like the most terrible, toxic relationship you've ever been in, there's something to learn from every person we meet and every connection we have on earth. Like, there's a reason for it, and it may have been shitty, but it's taught us like what we do deserve next time. So I don't know, I hope this episode was helpful in some way. But you're definitely not alone, because I'm sure a lot of people that are listening to this right now have gone through the same thing. So if you have and you want to share your story, you can write it in the comments. If you're listening/watching on YouTube, we would like to hear your stories.
I saw a quote the other day about friends. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can find it. If not, it's okay. But I liked it. It was yesterday, so.
No one told you life was gonna be this way.
Okay, I think it was this one. Oh, right here. Okay, so We the Urban Instagram page, they have really good quotes. And it's always like 9 things you need to hear today.
We the Urban?
They always do like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but, and they like tell you nice things.
Cool.
But yesterday they posted this about friends, and it says, friendships should,
Start over.
Friendships should uplift you, not drain you. Friendships should be balanced, not one-sided. Friendships should be nurturing, not transactional. Friendships should feel like love, not competition. And so I think that's a good way to sum it all up. So
That's a great one.
yeah, don't let anyone use you just when they need you, because that's another thing that can happen. Cut that off.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Oh, and I want to read some of the comments from last week's video. We want to give a little shout out to you guys for being here and for commenting. So we have a comment from ModMel19. She says, "You girls crack me up. I love listening no matter when you record. I was dying at the Twilight discussion at the end. I knew what you meant, Shaylee. I listened to the podcast but had to come leave a comment. I loved this episode so much."
Did you see what I commented back?
And Kylie replied with, "I truly thought it was about the movie."
Oh, I thought I wrote Team Jacob. That was just another comment.
That was another comment. You commented twice this week.
I did. Woo!
Yeah. Thanks for watching and listening. And thank you for the sweet comment.
Yeah.
And then Myth Dustard said, "I love the Southern accents."
We did great on those, I think. I haven't listened to it, but I'm scared
It's pretty
to.
funny. Yours changes. Yours definitely evolves. It like turns into like Forrest Gump, and then it turns into like,
Oh, yeah.
you like mixed it with like Middle Eastern or something. Or no, it was Australia. I was like, what
That
accent
is funny.
this?
That is funny. Well, we actually...
Leave a comment so we can read your comment next week.
We plan to kind of plan out the next few episodes. So if you give us some ideas, we'll be able to put that in our calendar.
I know, because we're so official now. We're having a business meeting next week after we film our episode, where we're going to go over like video ideas and like come up with a plan for the year.
Yes.
We're so official.
Right. So stay tuned. That's the words.
Stay tuned.
Be tuned.
Be tuned in.
Oh, goodness. All right. This is why we should record at night.
I know. We're still waking up.
Yeah, we are. So thank you all for listening.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. And we will see you next Friday.
Bye.
Bye.